So hopefully that made the point that A, comparative advantage exists, and B, that comparative advantage actually we don't have to start out with comparative advantage. If we just wanted to specialize because of saving on switching time, that would actually be an effective way from whence comparative advantage can come. But let's think more here about cost. And again, this is in terms of opportunities versus efficiency. These actually turn out to be the inverse. This here would be the value that you give up per unit of value gained. On the other hand, efficiency is going to be the value gained per unit of value that you give up. Now again, you'll notice that we're talking here about value, not necessarily about just productivity. We'll come back to this to talk about efficiency. So, if you're measuring things in terms of opportunity cost, you want the person with the lowest value to do it. If you're measuring things in terms of efficiency, you would want the person with the highest value to do the thing. So in the case of Kak Osman and Kak Aland, you should be able to take these formulas and go back to what I was doing and see if you can make sense of them. Now let's move in. Again, we're getting more specific. We started with the general idea of cost, which is the highest value forsaken alternative, and now hopefully we're actually able to start talking about how we can measure that. Now, efficiency. Some examples of efficiency that we might think about. A big one would be fuel efficiency. Many of us are used to that. In this country, we talk about miles per gallon or miles per gallon. In other words, the miles are the value that we're getting out of this, and the gallon is what we're giving up. On the other hand, in Europe, the way they measure fuel efficiency in cars, try to keep my face in here, although that's not really the most important thing, they measure it in liters per kilometer. Kilometer is the distance you've traveled. Liters is what you're giving up. This here is not a measure of efficiency. It is actually a measure of cost. Opportunity cost, or at least fuel cost, right? So this is actually not a measure of efficiency, it's a measure of cost. It's the number of liters you give up per kilometer that you gain. Now my guess is somebody in the class may have, or certainly knows somebody who has a pickup. And so does that pickup get a really good gas mileage? Does it have a good gas mileage? Is it fuel efficient? My suspicion is that most of you understand it's not fuel efficient. And so then the question would be, why does this person have that pickup? And the answer is that there is a difference between, maybe we could call it engineering versus economic efficiency. We as economists, what we care about is the value that you get out of it. Why do we care about gallons? So in terms of, so why would we care about gallons? Because we could do something else with them. What kind of miles do we care about? Again, engineering efficiency. So here we talk about fuel efficiency. That's really a case of engineering efficiency. Economic efficiency would be the value that somebody gets out of their pickup as compared to the value that they're giving up. So this would be value, rather than miles per gallon, would be value gained, because we're dealing with efficiency, per unit of value lost or foregone. Now again, you may be saying, well, how do we measure value? And that's tricky, that's complicated. One of the ways we oftentimes do this is going to be observing people's behavior and then trying to assign a dollar value. Not because we care about dollars, but because dollars make this easy to measure.